everyone, so today I will be showing you how to create this super cute peppermint candy charm that I designed myself. I think this charm is super cute and it looks best with rounded bands or pearlescent bands. And so without further ado, let's get started.
Today you will need any type of loom. You will also need your hook and one C-clip, as well as up to 6 colors of bands for the candy stripe part of this charm. I'm just going to use one, which is deep sea blue. You'll also need a color for the wrapper. I recommend using a clear color. I'm using frost bands. And you'll also need some kind of white color. I'm using white pearl bands. Everything that I have here today is from the Rainbow Loom web store, and the bands are limited edition online exclusive bands.
So before we begin, I'd just like to say a couple things. This design is not exactly easy, but it isn't very hard either. It's kind of in the middle. And also, it is very similar to the Mickey Mouse ear pattern that I created. If you have made that before, you probably won't have too much trouble making this design. And without further ado, now we can get started. So first we're going to start making the 2 pieces that are going to be for the wrapper. And we are going to end up taking this off our loom and leaving it on 1 pin. So it doesn't really matter where you start. I'm just starting at the top of my loom. And my arrows are pointing down. So I have put this one band here using my frost bands. And I like the look of the frost bands better just because they give more of a professional look to this charm, but you can also use clear jelly. So we're kind of making this triangle shape, and then you're going to go vertically. And the last band here, like that. Now you're going to take a single band here and wrap it around this bottom pin here 4 times. So for the hooking process, you're first going to go inside the cap band and grab the top band, which should be this band that's going to the upper left corner here. And now we are going to grab the band that's inside the cap band again, like this. Now we are going to go inside this band and grab the top band, which is going to the top left. And my bands fell off my pin. And now we are going to go ahead and hook this band that's going inwards here. And now we are going to go inside the pin, hook these 2 bands that go outwards. And then lastly, hook these 2 bands that connect back to the center. Like that. Now we have finished one side of the candy wrapper, and we are going to go ahead and take this off of our loom. You should have something like this, and we are going to make one more piece that is exactly like this now. So I'm just going to start 1 pin below here and go upwards. Make that little upside down V shape here. And then close off the ends, like that. Now we are going to take a single frost band and wrap it around the bottom pin again 4 times, like that. And your loom should look like this. And now we can start the hooking process. So I'm going to go inside and grab the very top band, which should be the band that's going to the upper left corner. And now do the same to this side. Go inside these bands here and grab the bands that are going to the upper left corner. And go inside this pin and grab the bands that are going this way. Now we are going to go inside this pin. Grab the bands here, like that, and finally finish off the design here. So once again, push your bands down, make sure your loom looks like mine, and we can now take this off of our loom, except remember the loose end is right here, so remove everything else except for the bands on this pin here. So we now have these two wrapper pieces, and you're going to leave these here for now, and we are going to start on the actual candy piece. So basically just scooch down your loom. You're only going to need like these many pins for this design, so it doesn't really matter where you start. I'm just going to start where my middle base plate is. So first, for this whole design that we're about to put on, we are going to be using double bands for the whole entire design. So first, I am going to take the colors that I'm using for my candy stripe part for the actual candy. And for this, I recommend using two different colors. I'm using Deep Sea Blue and White Pearl for this, and I like the White Pearl because it gives it more of like a candy effect. So I'm going to put these going vertically. And now I'm going to take double of my frost bands for the wrapper, and I'm going to put them that direction. Now I am once again taking my double bands for the candy stripe, and now you're going to take double of your wrapper color bands and put them going vertically. Now you're going to take your candy stripe bands once again, and you're going to take frost bands again, double frost bands. Take your candy stripe bands again. Now the frost bands and the candy stripe bands. Now take the frost bands. Take your candy stripe bands again. And lastly, we're going to use our double frost bands, or clear jelly depending on what you are using. Okay, so now we are going to add two cap bands on using our frost bands. And so one is going to go on this pin and one is going to go on this pin. You're going to loop a single band around each of the pins 4 times. So I have looped a single band around each of these 2 pins 4 times. And now we are going to go ahead and transfer our candy wrapper pieces that we made earlier onto these 2 pins. So I have my hook here, and I'm just going to stick it into one of the pins, doesn't matter which one, and pick up all the bands here. Now I'm going to transfer this piece onto this pin right here, the upper right pin up here. And basically what I like to do is kind of stretch the bands out, and then I stick my finger inside all the bands here and then transfer it onto this pin here. Like that. Twist it around so it's not in the way. And now we can transfer the other piece. So once again, I'm just sticking my hook into this pin, removing it. This piece is going to go on this bottom left pin here. So once again, I kind of like to stretch it out and stick my fingers inside and then transfer it onto this pin here, like that. And now we can start the hooking process. So first we are going to go inside of this top cap band that we put on, and you are going to grab the frost bands that are going to the left this way. Like that. Now you're going to go inside this cap band, grab the top 2 bands here, and hook them onto the pin here. And now you're going to hook the outside wrapper bands and hook them onto this pin. Be careful where you have the wrapper extensions here because there's a ton of bands on those pins. Now you're going to go inside here and hook the candy stripe part. And basically the hooking process alternates between the wrapper and the candy stripe part of this pattern. And now go back to the candy stripe. And my cap band fell off, but that's okay. Just scooch it back onto the pin. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the wrapper part again with my frost bands. Grab the double bands here. Again, be careful when you're putting bands on pins with the wrapper extension. And now this last part's a little different. As soon as you've hooked this candy stripe band that goes diagonally, you are not going to go ahead and move on with the wrapper part here. You are instead going to go inside and grab this other candy stripe band before you go ahead and put on the last wrapper band that you hook on. So push your bands down, and now we have to add on a band that ties everything together. So here I am taking one single frost band, and I'm going to kind of hold it onto this pin, and I'm going to use my hook to go inside of this pin here. I'll go inside all the bands, pick up the frost band that I'm holding here. This part's a little bit tricky. So once you've picked it up, like me, you're going to pull it through the pin here. And sorry if the camera's out of focus. And you're going to kind of give it a little tug, place it onto that pin like that. Now you're going to pull the bottom band up and over the pin. And give this band here a little tug. And now you can remove this cute little peppermint candy charm off of your loom. And we are now done, so basically before you completely finish off, just kind of stretch out the little candy stripes so that way they stand out a little bit more on both sides of this charm. And also, if you did not want to tie off this, you can always just leave it be and attach a C-clip, or you can tighten it a little bit, take your hook and stick it inside a random spot in your creation. I just kind of fiddle through, grab this loose end from the tie-off knot that we did, and just pull it randomly through a spot in your creation. Tuck the ends in, and you don't have that end sticking out anywhere. And I think this is a super cute charm. And yeah, so we are now done. And that is pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. Once again, it is my own original design. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like this candy charm and if you made one successfully yourself. Also, don't forget to check out my video on my hard candy charm, which is similar to this charm, except it doesn't have the really swirled part in the middle. It looks like this actually. And in my tutorial down in the description box, go ahead and click on it and I will show you how to make this charm. Also, don't forget to check out my DIY Rainbow Loom Valentine's Day cards for friends and family. And that tutorial will show you how to attach these little charms onto Valentine's Day cards for your friends and family. And it's a really cute idea, so go check that one out as well. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Pinterest. My username is tutorialsbya for both. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys like this design, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye!